Hey everyone, it's RedEye's Matt Pais here in Chicago. I am on the phone with Jahan from Krewella. How are you, Jahan?
Hi there.
Where are you talking to me from?
I have a day off in Syracuse right now, so I'm downtown. I'm at a little cafe here.
Obviously you're from Chicago, grew up in Northbrook. I'm actually from neighboring Deerfield, and
Oh, cool.
as we both know, that's not exactly the dance club capital of the world. What attempts did you make when you were younger to sort of create that type of environment in a place in the suburbs that isn't really known for that?
We actually drove to, if you're familiar with Highland Park,
Mm-hmm.
Gaston and I, we would drive to Chris's house, who's the producer in our group, and we just work in his grandma's basement. We did that for years. And then we decided that, she was complaining about noise sometimes. We realized we had to get our own place, and we had to live and work in that same place. So we moved to the Meat District of Chicago, and we just worked in this loft every single day. And worked till 4 a.m., went to sleep, and woke up on our own schedule and worked on our own schedule. So we didn't really go out that much. We just kind of kept ourselves inside and were inspired by each other. We didn't really go outside and go to clubs for inspiration.
What's been the wildest moment on this tour so far?
Every night is crazy. Like every night is literally like an action movie. It feels like, or a thriller, just because you're in front of thousands of people and you're performing the most energetic dance music. And you have a visually stimulating environment around you, strobe lights, a massive volcano that seems like it's out of a movie, and people starting mosh pits, you have crowd surfing kids, you have a kid in a wheelchair who's up in the crowd surfing. Then we jump in the crowd, and we're soaking by the end of the tour. Like every night is crazy. It becomes a blur where every night is just so insane that you can't really pick out one specific one.
How much should people train to get in shape for attending your shows? I feel like a certain level of endurance may be needed.
You know what? You don't have to train at all. In fact, it's about liberating yourself. It's about letting go. It's about not preparing. I mean, prepare with water, obviously, but it's just, we encourage people to not get dressed up and not wear heels, not try to look good at their shows because you can't have a good time. In the back of your mind, you're always thinking about how pretty you look or your outfit is in shape, or if you're trying to stay away from sweaty people. I know like a lot of people go to shows and they try to stay towards back away from all the really dirty kids, but like we like the dirty, grimy kids. We're on that same level.
Have you had that moment where you're looking out into the crowd and you see the one person who like got super dressed up and was trying hard like not to get soaked, not to get involved at all, and then like something happens and it totally like drenches them or gets them super dirty?
um, I try to look at everyone in the crowd when we play, especially with the strobe shine on them. I always scan the crowd from like left to right, top to bottom, all the way to the balcony. And usually it's the adults, like I'd say the older couples that stay towards the back in the balcony and try to stay like people that aren't dates together, which I don't even know. That's not really a hot date or romantic date going to a Krewella concert unless you're down in the weird your date. But it's always like couples that stay up towards the balconies to the front row and just like everyone is just crazy.
What does it mean to be headlining a venue the size of Aragon in Chicago, which is something that very few local acts ever get to do?
It's so crazy because I just remember being a kid and everywhere, be listening to 94.7, which doesn't even exist anymore. That was like the rock metal station, and I had to hear all my favorite bands saying, now you're playing at Aragon on July 21st, or whatever day it was. You'd always hear that name thrown around, and it's just so crazy. It feels like a teenage dream to know that we're going to be playing there.
The Aragon show is the last date of the tour, I believe. How are you going to crank it up to close things out for the hometown
Oh my
show?
god, it was actually intentional that we did that for the last shows in our hometown. Um, it's going to be the best show because our parents are there. We have our core, the nucleus of our fan base there. The people that have been coming to our shows when we were playing Little Rave, 10 kids. And those people, same people will be there, and I always see them in the front row. Um, my best friend from high school, and like fans in Chicago feel a certain sense of loyalty, and they feel a sense of ownership too, because we started in Chicago and our first shows were there, and they know that they were the first ones there. They know that when we were opening for Porter Robinson back a couple years ago, and we had probably, 300 kids in the crowd, which isn't that much considering, Logan Square Auditorium is, it's pretty big. Those kids know they were the first ones, and they feel that sense of ownership, so there's that passion, there's that amazing chemistry we have with our fans in Chicago.
So can you say anything particular you have planned for that show?
Just honestly, knowing it's our last show, pouring out every little bit of energy and emotion and voice that we have in us. Because it's our last show, and of course it's so much fun, and we look forward to it every night, and I know I'm going to miss it. And, we're going to celebrate after. We never party after our shows, where we're, we usually just, go back to the bus and watch a scary movie with each other. We're like a family on the bus. But I know I'm going to celebrate after. We're dropping material from our Get Wet album, a custom stage production, singing, and DJing. It's going to be a show like none other.
It's no secret that whether it's true or just by reputation, there's the association between EDM and drug use at shows. You guys have been very outspoken about not doing hard drugs, the importance of safety. Is that something you guys emphasize live as well? It's easy to imagine a setting there where you're talking about safety and people who would rather hear artists talk about how much everyone should get fucked up, like people booing that.
We party, we love to party. But I don't do hard drugs, none of us do. And I know it's happening, I'm not stupid, I know it's happening at our shows, and I can see it, and we're part of a team where people are doing that. But I'm not anyone's mother. Our shows are 18 and over, and I'm not there to preach. So I think it's important that people are responsible. That's all I can say, just be responsible. And, they have to make the decisions themselves, and hopefully they look up to us in a way where, when we write a blog post, encourage people to do research. That's all I can say. Do your research beforehand and surround yourself with people that are looking out for you. Other than that, like I said, I'm not a mother, and I'm not a specialist, so I don't honestly, I don't like speaking on subjects that I'm uninformed about. I don't know, the details and how, ecstasy works and how addicted you get to it, so I can't really, speak out on issues that I'm not an expert in. I just, it's two simple things, I can say to your research and be around people that care about you.
Yeah, it was interesting to see you guys were talking recently about just how much better you can judge a DJ or a DJ set when sober. And I think a lot of people, whether it's just kind of a learned perception or whatever it may be, there are probably a lot of people out there who say that they think that they enjoy dance music best when they're kind of outside themselves.
Yeah. And whatever allows people, I encourage people to be, independent thinkers and, to know their rights and know what they're allowed to do and have the freedom of choice. So I encourage people to do whatever they want to do in that way. But I also, at the same time, it's really interesting if you try just one night going out and actually being sober and listening to music, you see completely different, and you are a better judge of it. Every day, I went on Halloween, I was sober, and I just went around to different musical festivals. We were playing this mini festival, and I was literally there. I wasn't there to dance and have a good time. I was there to just watch the crowd and see what the crowd gets down to. And it's so interesting, it's a completely different world when you're sober.
And
I think that's what makes you, as an artist, that's what makes you want to challenge yourself more. That's what makes you want to be a better producer and a better writer. Because, you can drop the same 4/4 songs in the same key with, similar sounds. If you look at Beatport Top 10, a lot of those songs are have the same feel to them. Using mimicking the same sound, and you notice that stuff when you're sober. But drop it for a drunk kid or a kid rolling, he doesn't fucking know.
yeah, well, that's what I was.
Artists that really makes us want to be more compelling artists, to keep pushing ourselves and try to evolve.
Yeah, well, that's what I was kind of thinking about, is if there's any, like you said, you just want people to be safe and have a good time, but I wonder if there's any mild frustration where you are trying to set yourselves apart lyrically and musically, but like you said, the chances of people actually paying attention to anything when they're totally out of their minds, some people could say that it almost doesn't matter what they're listening to. It just kind of, as long as it has that thump, then people could probably get into it one way or the other.
Yeah, it's frustrating sometimes when we perform for a crowd that's really fucked up, because we'll be pouring our hearts out on stage, and I'll look in the front row, and I always try to make eye contact with people, and they won't even be able to look me in the eye. Their eyes are rolling to the back of their heads. It's almost scary. Sometimes I just want to have you as a performer, you want that connection with people.
Why do you think that EDM has become so popular now? And obviously, no one can predict the future, but do you see, just as far as the trends of the music industry, do you see any particular shelf life here, or is this something that there's no reason to think it won't be just as popular in 10 years?
It's like the thing of the EDM question is always interesting to me, because, and I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I don't know if I'm going to give you an answer you like, because to me, it's all semantic. Hip-hop is electronic dance music, pop is electronic dance music, there's jazz like Killers and Muse, that's electronic, Chinese guns is electronic, Postal Service is electronic. That shit was around when I was 15 years old, before the term EDM even existed. So I don't think it's going anywhere, and I don't think, obviously now it's different with this Four on the Floor club jam, popular on the radio, but I think it existed back in the 90s, and then it kind of went a little underground, and it surfaced again, and now it's back on the radio. But I do think that all forms of music now are electronic. I mean, Chris, our producer, was even who's programming, who's a metal band, who's programming everything on the computer, all the drums, the guitars, that's electronic.
Multiple references to the devil or hell or that sort of thing on Get Wet. Do you think the devil's a good dancer?
That's funny. It's more of a metaphor. That's one of our more abstract songs. If you want to be straightforward, it's, do you want to fuck with me? That's what it means. You're dancing with the devil. You're talking about the Patrick Stump collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up, we're about to leave a legacy is another song. That was a song that's the only song in the album that really addresses any sort of haters. We wrote that with Patrick Stump, and we were in the studio. We spent an hour jotting down ideas on a piece of paper, and all of our themes were very aggressive and angsty. Which was interesting. The three of us, because a lot of the time Yasmin and I will have differences in what we want to write about in a studio. Maybe one of us wants to write more of a romantic theme, and the other wants to write more of a party theme. But this day, for some reason, all three of us, including Patrick, really wanted to write about a song that was a response to the hate. Hate from people that don't even know anything about us. It's about how the media and fans, or not, the media and listeners basically just rate you, and they'll just say anything about you to try to bring you down. But the truth is that people that spend the time to come up with these rumors or stories or awful things to say, and they spend so much time doing it and time thinking about it, those are the people that have no passion in life and aren't really doing anything. So that was our inspiration for that song.
What's the most ridiculous question or interaction you've received as a result of the album title?
You know what, I have to say, when we get, when people interview us, they usually do some research beforehand. But if you want to know about ridiculous questions in general, the album title is not due to any ridiculous questions, I think. People know it by now. They know we're ridiculous ourselves, and they know that we're very sexually open. And they know that we like to get wet. We've been talking about getting wet even before the album came out.
I suspected this may have prompted a new and rather transparent pickup line.
Do you want to get wet? You know what? That'd be cool. You know how people say, like, let's get turned up? Let's get weird tonight? I want to get weird. That'd be cool. If in 5 years people just start saying, yo, bro, let's get wet tonight. I would love that.
Guys saying that to each other?
Well, you know, that's the weird thing, and that's actually amazing to know that guys can start saying that. Like, they're wearing get wet shirts. They're holding signs that say, make me wet. Like, it's originally something women say, like, women get their pussies wet. Let's just be real. But I love to know that, like, guys can let down this guard that they have of being so masculine, and they can sing songs of ours. We're girls singing. We're singing very feminine lyrics sometimes and very sexual lyrics. And we have actually guys in our front row singing along. And that makes me happy to know that they're not trying to be masculine, and they don't think that, they don't feel too girly. They just don't care. And that's all we want at our shows. We want people to not give a fuck. We want people to feel liberated. We want people to not feel any restrictions from society or what it means to be masculine.
And if you don't mind me asking, just want to confirm that you are 24 now, is that right?
I hate talking about my age. That's the worst question right there. It's out. Maybe it's on Wikipedia or something. Just call me 21. 21 forever. When I turned 21, I actually told myself that every single year I'm going to keep turning 21.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Jahan. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the interview.
Bye-bye.
Bye.